Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this is the new Madagascan Sunset Moth pattern. Here's how to make it. Okay, this is the video showing how to assemble the Madagascan Sunset Moth. It's a very, very beautiful moth, has a lot of pieces. So let me show you what I've done to prepare the pieces. So I took all of the pattern pieces, printed them on paper-backed fusible adhesive. I use Heat and Bond Light for all of my quilts. Fused it to the wrong side of the fabric, and then cut all the pieces out on the solid lines. Then all of these dotted lines, those are placement guides. Those are showing me where other applique pieces are going to sit on top of this piece. And I've transferred those lines to the paper side of the fabric. Just hold the pieces up to a window and you'll be able to see those lines through it and you can transfer them. I just traced over everything with a white chalk. And then we are ready to go. So one thing I should show you is, let's see, it's more useful on this one. So I used a directional fabric here where there are visible stripes in the fabric. And so I did draw lines on my wing pieces to give me a guideline so that when I positioned it on the fabric, I would do it symmetrically so that my lines, my stripes would be symmetrical there. Before we start putting this together, let me show you the placement guide. So this is telling you what piece goes where. So it's super helpful when you're using a light box because you just actually lay the pieces right on this. But we're doing it today without a light box. And so this will tell me, though, which droplets go where because all of the pieces are numbered. So I'm just going to tuck this out of the way, but you've got that. All right, we are going to start with the body piece, and it goes with the skinny part pointing down. And I'm going to just kind of position that right in the middle of my block for now. I may end up moving that, but for now, we're going to start there. So let's see. I usually start with the top pieces, but this time I'm going to start with the bottom pieces. So they all tuck under the kind of the fat part of the body, and you'll see that line that I transferred there, that is going to tuck right under the body. And then I know I've got enough overlap so that this quilt can be washed after it's all finished. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So yeah, this is a moth that is just about black, and then it has brightly colored markings. And there's not a kind of a standard marking. They have a lot of different colors and different patterns. Mostly greens up top, and then going into some yellows and oranges and pinks on the bottom. But I just kind of stylized the whole thing in my drawing. So now this top wing is going to cover the bottom wing until we cover that bit. And the little bit in there is going to go behind the body. So you see how those markings will help you position all the pieces together. Covering up the bottom wing and also getting tucked behind the body. There we go. And then there's going to be a couple of antennae that we'll just draw in later. That is actually pretty good. I'm going to shift it up just a smidge. This is why I don't get too fussy with the placement at first, because sometimes then I have to move it around. That's the other nice thing about the light box, though, is you can fuse the whole butterfly together, or moth, and then peel it up and position it on your block all as one piece. That is very handy. All right, now let's start putting in some of these teardrop pieces. So these are pieces 11 and 12. And I'm looking at my placement guide and seeing that they cover up these markings. This is going to be a lot of outlining on this one. And then, let's see, I've got pieces 5 and 6, which are some shapes on the lower wings. Go. And then let's see, what are this? 16 and 15. So we are back to the upper wings on this. So here's 16. Sometimes the markings on the top are like a really bright neon green, but I'm making kind of a subdued, like a chalky colored quilt. So this is 7 and 8. We're going to be on the bottom. And they get covered up a little bit by those top wings. And then let's see, these are 13 and 14. So we're back to the top again. And I did, even though all of these top ones are in the same color family, these are all the seaweed blenders. I did different prints for them so we get that variation. And then 3 and 4 are the bottom biggest drops. All right, that looks good. So I'm going to take this over to my ironing board, fuse all those pieces in place, do all the outline stitching, and then I'll bring it back and show you the finished Madagascan Sunset Moth, and also show you a Madagascan Sunset Butterfly that I made that doesn't exist. I just used the exact same template pieces and made it in bright butterfly colors instead. All right, this is the finished Madagascan Sunset Moth, made in fairly realistic colors. One thing that I do want to point out is that the colors really vary on these. Most of them have green markings at the top. They pretty much all have a black background, but they have mostly green markings on the top and mostly warm colored markings on the bottom, different shades of red and orange and pink and yellow. But that is not a hard and fast rule, and if you look at different pictures of them online, you'll see a lot of different variation in the color markings. So even just making a simple, the Madagascan Sunset Moth, you can have a lot of variety in how you make it. But you can also make, or I made, a Madagascan Sunset Butterfly. Not really. There's no such thing as a Madagascan Sunset Butterfly, but I just wanted to show you that you could take all the same pieces that were in the Madagascan Sunset Moth pattern and use them to make something that looks much more like a butterfly, because I made it in bright, cheerful butterfly colors. Moths also come in bright colors, but butterflies are usually brighter and more colorful. And I also put this one on a daytime blue background. But I wanted to show you one other thing. So this is a Frankenmoth. It has nothing to do with the Madagascan Sunset Moth, except that I wanted to let you know that I'm designing these moth patterns. I'm doing a collection of 10 different moth patterns, all with fairly realistic species-specific shapes and markings, but I'm designing them in such a way that you can mix and match the pieces between the different moths to create your own fantasy moths and butterflies. So this one uses pieces from just 2 patterns. It uses pieces from the Luna moth and the elephant hawk moth, but I've used it to create a Frankenmoth that is completely made up, completely fantasy. But if you have a couple of these patterns, you're going to be able to mix and match all of the pieces between the different wings, bodies, and markings to create all kinds of different Franken butterflies and Franken moths. So just letting you know that that's another extra way that you can play with that pattern. But for now, that's the Madagascan Sunset Moth. You can get the new pattern at Shiny Happy World. I'm Wendy, and I will see you next time.